Good
Good
morning,
morning.
good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Everybody out there listening, thanks for joining us. And I've got with me Tim and Ravi. Morning, guys.
Hello.
Morning. Should be an interesting day's play after that
Yes.
wicket.
Yes.
Yeah,
I have a feeling Pakistan are going to be either less overhaul South Africa's score. I just can't see them getting out between 100 and 220.
you think they'll fall
Well-
short and concede a lead?
Either they'll fall very short or they'll take the lead. That's my feeling. Pakistan are that sort of team. And
Oh,
they're
yes, of
batting
course. Yeah.
right now.
So they'll lead by 180 or they'll trail by 40. That type of thing.
Worse. I'm predicting that they'll get out for less than 100 or they'll
Oof.
get 240 or more.
Okay. All right.
Well,
So,
I'm going back to my whole they're playing like T20 batsmen kind of thing. It's just even South Africa yesterday were quite poor that way.
yes. That's true.
Batting, they're running. What was Rassie van der Dusen thinking?
That's an excellent question. I'd love to know.
I'm afraid neither of us can answer that, I'm afraid.
Well, the thing is, I think they were batting as though they were in a T20 and had to take quick runs. This is a test match. You don't have to take quick runs and quick singles.
No, there's no reason to do that. No. I absolutely agree with you there, Robbie. Some of the shot selection and the way the South Africans batted, I didn't see Pakistan bat. I was following on online, but at least 4 of the wickets, that being Van der Dussen, Bavuma, De Kock, and I think Dean Algar's wicket as well was poor shots. Not really good deliveries, just poor shots.
Yeah, in fact, at the end, it seemed
poor decision.
Kagiso Rabada was the only one who knew how to bat like it was a test match.
Yes, he was actually blocking some of the deliveries, which was good to see. Yeah.
And he's going to open now.
Okay, I'm a bit behind here on my side.
Yeah, that's why you're taking ball by ball.
Yes, I'm still seeing people showing highlights from yesterday's play and so on. So yes, wherever you are in the world, please do tweet us at Guerrilla SA, GUERILLASA, and you can also follow us on our YouTube channel, where some of the guys post some really interesting podcasts and magazine shows about sport, all kinds of sport. And we'll be joining the cricket soon. My feed is a little bit behind the live one. Azhar Ali there on 5 of 40 balls, faced 34 dots yesterday. So he's definitely in test match mode as far as his figures are concerned. And he's with Fawad Alam at the crease. And indeed, yes, Kagiso Rabada will be opening the bowling. He's got the ball in his hands. He's got 2 wickets already yesterday afternoon, 6 overs bowled, 3 maidens, 2 for conceding 8 runs. So
And
we'll wait for.
And he's one short of 200.
Really, 199 wickets.
Yeah, he'll become the third fastest South African if he gets it in this test match.
Oh, that is awesome. Yes, Kagiso is only 25 years old, but it feels like he's been playing for 10 years. So since he burst onto the scene in the age group World Cup, it was the under 20 or the under 19 World Cup at that point. They keep changing it. Or there's 2, I'm not sure. But anyway, Pakistan are 33 for 4. Fawad Alam is on 5 of 3 balls. And he's joined Azhar Ali, who's shown some form of resistance. Fawad Alam is facing Kagiso Rabada around the wicket to the left-hander, blocks this full ball outside off stump to the onside, and there's no run.
Fawad takes his stance almost like he wants to emulate Shivnarayan Chanderpaul, and then he suddenly swivels round and faces the bowler side on.
You took the words out of my mouth. It's very strange.
Kagiso has one slip. He's got a gully. He's got a man at backward point, quite far away, and then he's got a man at point just forward square. And this next delivery goes through to the keeper for no run, left alone by Forward Alam. 33 for 4 is still the score.
And the funny thing is, Fawad Alam, they talk about his great experience. He is 35 years old, but he's only in his 7th test.
Yeah,
Yes.
his experience is the first class cricket.
Yeah, I was thinking this morning, maybe they picked these first-class guys as Kagiso comes round the wicket to the left-hander, left alone to the keeper, no run, outside, off stump. Maybe they picked these guys who actually played a lot of cricket in Pakistan.
I think that is the way that they went, was certainly with the left-arm spinner, Nabil Ali. Very experienced in Pakistan domestic cricket.
Yes, because a lot of the other players would have been, playing in the UAE, as opposed to playing actually playing home games in Pakistan. So Forward Alam again, he stands next to the stumps with the bat in his hands. This one is left alone through to the keeper, and then he, as Rabada is almost into his gathering stride, he takes up a normal kind of stop. So it's really strange to see. Do tweet us and let us know who's going to do the tweets for us, guys.
I'm doing the tweets. Umpo has just reminded everybody that we're live for session 1 of day 2, and they can also follow us on 1wsr.com and tweet into us, Guerrilla SA.
That's it. Rabada round the wicket to Forward, plays this to the onside, and there is no run. 33 for 4 is still the score.
Rabada's only got one slip. I think that's an indication of what he thinks of this pitch. It's a brand new day, and he's got one slip. And a fairly new batsman.
Yep.
No gullies.
David Mitchley sent us a gif of Bugs Bunny waking up to grade A carrot juice, and he says, "Good morning, Guerrilla SA. Any chance of seeing day 5? I'd say it's a bit early to predict that. It looks like with 14 wickets on day 1 that it won't go to 5 days, but you never know how the pitch will work out and whether the batsman will remember how to use the forward defensive. If they do, anything is possible.
So that last ball of Rabada's over, also through to the keeper for no run. 33 for 4 is still the score. 19 overs gone. Only 3 extras for Pakistan so far, conceded by South Africa. So that's good to see from South Africa's point of view. Yes, as Mpo said, 1wsr.com, One World Sports Radio on YouTube and on Facebook. We're also there as One World Sports Radio. So please do connect with us there and send us your thoughts, especially if you're a Pakistan supporter. Please let us know what you think about the team selection, about the tactics so far. Anrich Nortje is bowling the second over now. He's over the wicket to Azhar Ali, who boxed this one on off stump, and there's no run.
Otto, you are cracking up a little bit with your sound.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you can do, but you are cracking up a little bit, sort of echoing slightly.
Do you have bandwidth problems?
Yeah, I'm struggling with bandwidth at the moment. How am I sounding now?
That's better. That's better. Much better.
Okay, let me restart the end of this over. If things go really badly, I'll do that quickly. Nortje in one and a gully for Azhar Ali blocks this one to point, and they hesitated a bit. They go through for a single. There's a fumble there, so they take a second run now, and the ball comes back to Quinton de Kock. That's 2 runs added to the total.
That was a bit bad by Keshav Maharaj. He didn't
Keshav at point. Yeah, Azhar Ali moves on to 7. He could have stopped both runs there. They stopped and checked if he would get to the ball, which he almost did, and then fell over and missed it, and they had to get up and run after it again. So
let the ball slide under him. It's really unforgivable.
Yeah, no, especially when you're standing at point. I mean, that's the whole point of point. Nortje over the wicket to Azhar Ali, drives this straight to extra cover, and there's no run.
Once again, South Africa premier fast bowler has got one slip. Again, it's an indication that they don't think that the ball is going to carry. Huh?
Yeah, it could also be that they're trying to attack the stumps a bit more, that they're not trying to bowl into the channel outside off stump, that they're going to go for the stumps. Looking at the line that Nortje is bowling, Rabada was a bit wide outside off. Nortje is on off stump, and there's an appeal for LBW as Azhar Ali came forward with a defensive shot. But the umpires don't seem to be interested at all. I think there might have been bat involved.
I think they're going to review it.
Doesn't look that way at the moment. Africa reviews. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
I didn't see the signal to the umpire, but it looks like they are congregating. Pakistan have 2 reviews remaining. South Africa have 3, and they have indeed reviewed this decision. So pitches outside off stump. Oh, there was definitely bat there. Bat was behind it. The ball might have hit the pad first.
I think the ball hit the pads first, but
could be.
Maybe the line.
Looks like it struck him outside the line. Let's see what Ultra Edge says. Yeah, no, it's definitely contact with the pad first. So that's under the roll. Azhar Ali is his front foot's about a meter outside his crease, so he's not that far forward. But it looks like it struck him outside the line. Yeah, well outside the line.
That's a review loss. That's a review loss.
That's not a good review. I mean, there are some that you can forgive, but that's not a very good review.
Well, the enthusiasm to get an early wicket may have caused it, but you shouldn't review on enthusiasm alone. Tactical reviewing is all very well.
Yeah.
To waste a review is not a clever idea.
Yeah, and Nortje wasn't convinced at first because the slips or Faf du Plessis had slipped and Quinton de Kock went up for the appeal, and Nortje sort of joined in afterwards. I think he maybe should have spoken up a bit more, that he didn't think that was
well, have you ever seen a fast bowler not decide that he's got a wicket?
Well, in the best position to do no. This one is a bit shorter outside off stump, just dab down into the extra cover area for no run. 35 for 4. Well, he didn't appeal.
A fast bowler to reject the review is.
We're straightforward with the leader.
It's like asking a horse to refuse an apple.
Yeah, so I mean, it's from that side of the field, from that side of the wicket, somebody else needs to check. We see Nortje coming again on middle and leg, and this one is flicked off his pads by Azhar Ali. They get a single down to square leg. Score is 36 for 20 overs. Nortje is 1 wicket for 23 off 8. Azhar Ali 8 for 46. Fawad Alam 5 off 9. And we are back in Pakistan. It's so good to see people playing cricket in Pakistan. It's good to see the South African team playing cricket in Pakistan. I know that some other teams have toured there. How many Test series have Pakistan played since that attack in Sri Lanka? When was the last time that this isn't the first Test series that they're playing in Pakistan, is it?
No,
Didn't they play Zimbabwe?
They played Sri Lanka and Bangladesh in 2019.
Okay.
I don't know what. They played 2 tests, I think, against Bangladesh and 1 against Sri Lanka. Or the other way around. But certainly those 2 2019.
Have been there, yes. Okay. Well, that's good to see South Africa back in Pakistan. It's really nice. And Rabada continues over the wicket to Azhar Ali. He defends this on off stump out into the covers. Bavuma flicks it onto the stumps, but they're safely through. And there's backing up, so no extras. 36 for 4.
That's how you take a quick single.
Yes, that was a quick single, well taken, but not necessary in Test cricket, as Ravi pointed out.
Exactly, exactly my point. They got it fine, but
yes, but that is one half step slower, and you're gone. Yeah. So Boma didn't hit the stumps there. They've got 2 slips now for Fawad Alam facing Rabada, and it looks like he's holding up his hand here on the slightly lower quality feed that I have, but it's actually his bat that he's standing next to the stumps with his bat in the air. This is the strangest thing I've seen in a long time. And then he goes into his stance just as the bowler approaches the crease.
And it seems then as though he's taking an outside off-stump stance. Look at where his pads are by the time he's ready to face the ball.
Yes, so as Rabada comes into his stride, this one is pulled down to deep wicket, and they're going to take 2 runs, it looks like. Yes, Azhar Ali is back at the non-striker. So
Tim,
this
can
is...
I ask
yes, sure.
Yeah. Sorry. Tim, can I ask a favor? Can you be in charge of regularly reciting the score? Because our scoreboard is not updating. I've received a message. Yeah.
All right.
So every over, just remember, tell us the score. Tell us the score.
Right.
This one by Fawad Alam is played to extra cover. The left-hander is facing the right-handed Rabada, who's bowling around the wicket. And he just dabbed that one to extra cover for no run. So as Fawad Alam stands next to the stumps, he places his left foot, being a left-hander, in front of his off stump and middle stump, and then takes up stance there. So this
he's like a weird combination of Chanderpaul and Graham Smith. He starts like
Steve Smith. Yeah, that's what it's left alone by Fawad Alam, and it goes through to the keeper for no run. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember ever seeing him bat before. Either that or he's changed his stance or the way he plays. But this is really interesting to see. Not something you see every day, that's for sure.
Don't forget. He's only played 7 tests, don't forget.
Yes, yes.
So you're unlikely to have seen him.
Right. Rabada around the wicket to Fawad Alam on leg stump, and he flicked this out to square leg to the boundary, the technical single. The score is 14 runs now for the loss of 4 wickets. Pakistan trail by 180. And that is the end of Rabada's 8th over. That's the end of the 21st over of Pakistan's first innings. This is the first session of day 2 of the first test between Pakistan and South Africa. Yes, sir.
Fawad has been seen.
I think you need to refresh. You're breaking up again.
Refresh.
Well, you're breaking up.
Okay, I'll do that quickly.
Sound quality is not good.
That's okay.
I'll take over from ball by ball until Otto gets back.
Okay. Yeah, don't forget that we are ahead of him, so say it slowly.
Well, I've synced the TV to Otto. So I am where he was.
Okay.
So all good.
Okay.
No, I might be forward, but I've synced it with him.
Okay.
Okay. Nokia's gonna bowl again. Stands at the top of his end. He comes in, and it's a full ball on the stumps, which Fawad Alam hits slightly to the leg side and comes through for a quick single. Very good piece of running there by Fawad Alam. It's 41 for 4.
Yeah, and Azhar Ali's facing, and
they're showing Fawad Alam's average at Karachi, which at the moment stands at 71. So he certainly knows how to play on this particular pitch.
Well, yes, it's a very impressive first-class record, 71.6 average.
Next ball comes in. It's a slightly wider of the off stump, and Azhar Ali comes forward gets an edge which goes straight into the ground, evades the fieldsman, and goes through for 4 runs, 45 for 4.
That was a nicely struck drive, actually.
Hey, sorry?
That was a nicely struck drive by Azhar Ali. Also, you're back?
It was also a low ball from Nokia, so you have to bowl that again.
Hello. I think I'll just stop my camera if my connection is still bad.
Okay,
just let me know. Though. You carry on with the ball by ball for this over, Tim, and then we can check.
Nokia comes in. It's a fuller ball straight on the stumps once again, and Azhar Ali drives it straight to mid-on, and there's no run.
Oh, and that was a no ball by Nokia that was hit for 4.
Yes, they did point that out. Yeah, I did. Did alert people of that happening.
46 for 4 now. Azhar Ali on 13 of 49 balls. Fawad Alam 9 of 15.
Nokia comes in again.
I must apologize for the movement you saw behind me.
Lovely drive there from Azhar Ali, straight down the forward bowler, and they're going to go 3 for 3, I think. Yes, a lovely piece of driver there from Azhar Ali.
Lovely on drive.
Just didn't force it at all. Just hit the ball at the bat and allowed the pace of Nokia to make sure the ball raced down towards the boundary. It's the time 3 for 3.
On television, it always looks so innocuous when they play that shot because the ball is coming straight back onto the camera, in line with the camera. So it looks like the ball is just like dribbling down the pitch, maybe. And then all of a sudden, it's almost as if it looks like it starts speeding up towards the boundary.
Well, also, he played it with no follow-through whatsoever. He just tapped the ball.
Nokia comes in, it's a bit shorter this time, as I think off stump, and Fawad Alam gets behind it and blocks it. 49 for 4. 4 overs.
Do you think it'll soon be Keshav Maharaj time?
Too early.
Ooh.
Too early.
I think he could give him a go and maybe give George Linder a twirl as well. Give him a chance as well to see what he can do. While they've got the Pakistan team now on 4 down with almost, not even close to 50. Well, they are close to 50 now, but they're not close to catching up to the score. Might be a good time to get the spinners on.
Nokia comes in there with a good ball, decides onto the off stump, and Fawad Alam gets to the inside edge onto pad. It looks like South Africa's going to appeal there, but rather thick inside edge onto pad, and the ball drops on the offside, and there's no run.
Yeah, these two are looking comfortable against the pacemen. That's why I was wondering whether Keshav Maharaj might be an option, just to shake things up.
Last ball of the over, it's a little bit to the side from Anwar Fakir, and Fawad Alam is able to finish the boundary on the ground. On the leg side, he comes through for a single. Pakistan have reached 50 for 4 at the end of that over.
So, 22 overs exactly for the Hins, for the loss of 4 wickets. Fawad Alam on 10 of 18 and Azhar Ali on 16 of 50 balls. And I think let's try something. Let's try something else. As you rightly said, Ravi, it does look that the speedsters are not really troubling the Pakistan, these 2 batsmen at least. So let's try something else. I wonder how long it will take Quinton to make that choice, because it looks like Rabada is continuing. And he goes around the wicket to Fawad Alam, who plays this one out to mid-on, and there is no run. Is it okay? Can I carry on ball by ball? How's my sound?
Your sound is still crackly, but it'll do.
Yeah,
all right.
It's better than it was.
Okay, yeah, let's try it without the camera. Let's see.
Otto, but our viewers, how will they cope without a view of you?
They'll have to wait for the next test when my connection is back up to speed. Rabada around the wicket to Fawad Alam, and this one is dabbed just a bit wider this time of mid-on, and they take a quick single. The left-hander there facing Rabada coming around the wicket, and now it's Azhar Ali, the right-hander. Fawad Alam moved on to 11, 51 for 4. As we have a look at Azhar Ali's test career by average against opponents, and he's not a very happy chappy against South Africa. It's his lowest.
Yeah, it's not especially really good stuff.
Yeah. Lyrics Leah tweets in. She says, "Good morning, everyone." Good morning, Leah. I feel like SA are letting them get away a bit now. This is already Pakistan's highest partnership of the match.
Good point. Yes, indeed. We should be more clinical. That one by Rabada was short to Azhar Ali, who just swayed out of the way through to the keeper in a run.
Yeah, we have no messages on YouTube, so we're fine there. I suppose, check.
Thanks, Ravi, and thanks everybody for getting in touch. Please let us know where you're watching from, where you're listening from, and what you're doing. Are you at work? Are you at home? Rabada over the wicket to Azhar Ali, and this one is an appeal for LBW. It squirts out past the square leg fielder, and I don't think they should review this one because there might have been some bat there. But take a single, 52 for 4, 2 balls to come in Rabada's 9th over.
That was very similar to the deliveries that he was bowling before the close of play. The ball just coming in just enough to hit the inside edge. Obviously, he wants the pad, but that was a very good piece of bowling from Rabada.
Yes, indeed it was. So some nice shape coming in. He's coming around the wicket now to the left-hander, and this one spits up out of the pitch, surprises the batsman a little bit. I think it might have hit his hand. He's walking away, not showing any sign of weakness. Is Fawad Alam, the left-hander, and the ball went out to the onside for no run. Let's see what happened here. Nice team presentation by Rabada, and this one hit him on the bottom hand. Lucky for him on the padding on his 4 fingers, but that does squash your hand up against the bat and can be quite unnerving. He faces Rabada again around the wicket. This one is played from outside off stump to the onside, no run. 52 for 4. Yes.
That ball that bounced was straight down short leg straight if it was a short leg.
Yes, if they had a short leg in there, it would have gone straight to the man standing there. Good point. So missed opportunity there from the fielding captain, but it doesn't look like the short ball is really a regular option here. But you know, maybe you're onto something there, Tim. They need that short leg in there if they want to take wickets. Give yourself a chance to take the wicket.
The problem is partly Nortje. He's not moving the ball. He's just wanging it down as fast as he can and spraying it around a bit. He reminds me very much of England's Mark Wood, who's also very quick, but doesn't do much with the ball. So he either gets his wickets from pace or he doesn't get wickets at all.
Yes, you're quite right. And, Nortje being given the opportunity to open the bowling yesterday and this morning, I always feel like he does waste the new ball a little bit. I had the same feeling about Morne Morkel, but he was bowling with Dale Steyn, which sort of took the limelight off of him. And this one is played by Azhar Ali out to square leg, take an easy single. 53 for 4 now. Fawad Alam will face Nortje. Azhar Ali is on 18 of 53 and Fawad Alam on 11 of 22.
Interesting that Nortje hasn't really tried the short ball in this morning, whereas Rabada has, but the bowler who's quicker hasn't really tried the short ball. It's an interesting tactic.
Well, I don't know. Does this pitch have any pace and bounce in it? That's the other question. We've got to start asking ourselves about the pitch.
Rabada just hit forward on the clubs.
Right, that one by Nortje outside of stump left, no run, 53 for 4.
I think there is going to be the time when and also the Rabada's second wicket yesterday, ball bounced viciously in at the batsman. That's the only reason he got out to the delivery. So while it's not consistent, perhaps it is bouncing at times.
Well, okay.
Nokia is giving the ball a fuller length.
Nokia on the wicket to forward Alam, who plays this off middle stump out to square leg, and they take a single. 54 for 4. They trail by 166 to Pakistan. So Nokia's got three balls left in his 10th over. Azhar Ali is going to be facing him now.
And Nokia has bowled the most overs of any South African bowler, even though, apart from against the night watchman, he hasn't troubled any of them.
Talking about the short ball.
Is over the wicket now, yeah, short and through to the keeper, left alone, ducked underneath it by Azhar Ali. Did I see a short leg in there? Let's see what the fielding looked like. Still only have the one slip, I think. We'll check for you now.
They've got a very silly mid-on. They've got a very silly mid-on and a square leg.
Okay, all right. So that's a good fielding position for the short ball then. Let's see what Azhar Ali does with this next one. 54 for 4. Nortje comes into him over the wicket. There's no short leg, but there is a silly mid-on who fields now as the ball is played back down the pitch, no run.
How effective do we see silly mid-on coming into play in Test cricket? How often are catches, for example, caught there?
It's a good question. I think silly mid-on or silly mid-off is used more for intimidation purposes to tell the batsman you can't drive uppishly here now. Batsman notices that and chooses to play in that area. Yeah.
Over the wicket comes Nortje on leg stump and just dabbed down into the ground to the man backward square on square leg. No run. End of the over. 24 overs gone. 54 for 4. And I see our producer Mpo has got the scorecard working. 54 for 4. You can see there if you are watching us on YouTube or Facebook. Thanks for that, Mpo. It's really nice.
Yeah, but I wouldn't rely on it. I wouldn't rely on it, Otto.
Other guys are working hard behind the scenes to make this all happen. So thank you very much, Mpo and Simon, who do the production work. We really do appreciate it. It's so nice to be able to do this. Rabada is going to continue, so no spin yet.
I don't mind Rabada. He's got control and he's got movement. And he's got pace. I think Nortje should be removed from the attack.
To forward on left-handed left, so leaves it alone and no run. 54 for 4.
I do think that if you're going to play Nokia, you've got to play to his strengths, play to what he's good at, and I don't think they are at the moment, especially at least this morning. It's not the bowler that you bowl the full length about. He's not that bowler.
Rabada in again, round the wicket, and this time it's pulled from outside off stump, but nicely fielded by Bavuma at mid wicket, and there is no run. Nokia is bowling a bit fuller and uses the short ball as a surprise ball, but he's not using the short ball as a surprise ball, and he's not. He hasn't got the short leg. The short square leg and those fielders to take advantage of the short delivery. This one is a bit loose, I would say, by Rabada too. too wide and pulled by forward Allen down to square leg boundary and they take a single 55 for 4.
Yeah.
Without being able to sit in the South African dressing room, you would say that he's been told to bowl that length and to stay off the short ball. Unless he's not doing what he's been asked to do, which I can't believe.
Rabada over the wicket to Azhar Ali, defends this to cover a run.
The wicket is not giving the bowlers anything to play with. So they're relying on just line and pace, and they haven't got field set for that. Particularly Nortje, who's spraying it about a bit.
Yeah, and we've seen a little bit of shade from Rabada this morning, but there's certainly no assistance from the wicket. He comes in again to Azhar Ali over the wicket, blocks this outside off stump. This time they take a quick run to extra cover, but safely through. And it's 56 for 4 now.
I'd love to see Keshav Maharaj. We haven't got any tweets. But Leah's last tweet is looking more and more prophetic. As she says, I feel South Africa letting this get away a bit now. This is already Pakistan's highest partnership of the match. They've got, 44 runs in this partnership already? I think.
Rabada to forward Alam around the wicket. This one is blocked on just outside off stump line, and there is no run. 56 for 4. That is the end of the over. Forward Alam 13 of 28. Azhar Ali on 19 of 58. So will we see a bowling change now? Because it's been half an hour, 35 minutes now.
In terms of time, this is probably the time that you start to think about that. I'm not as critical of their bowling this morning, but 35, 40 minutes is pretty much.
Yeah, they've got 39.
Well, it hasn't been very a lot of loose deliveries. Ngidi is replacing Nortje, so there will be a bowling change here for
the
South
most
Africa.
magnificent art in cricket currently.
What was that, Robbie?
I said the most magnificent art in cricket. Lungi Ngidi.
I wouldn't know.
He's a very athletic man. Yes, he's got the fast bowler's physique. Lungi Ngidi is 3 overs for 5 runs so far in this innings. Bowled only those 3 yesterday. So his first ball of today, 56 for 4. The start of the 26th over. He goes over the wicket to Azhar Ali. This one is blocked out to mid-on, where that silly mid-on steps 2 paces to the right field. Got a second slip in Ngidi, looks like. Second or third slip, quite a wide slip. Nobody else close in a catching position. So that first ball was right on line of the stumps, but going over the stumps as it was defended by Azhar Ali. Comes in again over the wicket. They haven't
shown off any tea advertisements yet today. Yesterday was full of tea. What's happened today?
This one is played by Azhar Ali outside off stump to the mid-wicket area for no run. Were you seeing tea ads on your side, Ravi?
What?
Were you seeing tea ads?
Well, they were seeing lots of tea ads yesterday. Well, not ads,
okay,
but tea product placement, let's say.
Yes. The groundsman was standing and sipping tea, and he had him on camera for like 20 minutes at a time. Azhar Ali is going to face the next ball by Ngidi over the wicket outside of stump block, no run. Yes.
At least
and now we're seeing Tabraiz Shamsi saying, now, if only I didn't have back spasms, I'd have taken 10 wickets by now. Look at how he's explaining how he would spin the ball, how he would set his wickets. What might have been, eh?
At least it's not surprising that Ngidi doesn't have slips, because he is the slowest of the lot of the fast bowlers. So that's an indication of why he doesn't have any slips at the moment.
So there we see they're holding up the team sheet to the camera where Shamsi was crossed out and Ngidi penned in there. This one is played off his hip by Azhar Ali down to a fine leg or backward of square on the leg side, and they go through for a single 57 for 4. 2 balls to come in Ngidi's fourth over.
Team sheet makes me think I'd have penciled in Ngidi before Nokia, to be honest. Given what they did against Sri Lanka.
I'll tell you why not. Because Ngidi needs a wicket that does. Ngidi needs a wicket that does something. He needs a wicket that gives him some assistance. In general, Nokia, as long as Davis bounce, as long as there's bounce, he can get something out of a wicket. Whereas Ngidi generally needs
assistance.
Ngidi needs to get assistance. He needs to get lateral movement. And on these flatter wickets in Pakistan, I always anticipated him struggling.
Okay.
So I wanted to see Shamsi. But we'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ngidi was not all that successful in these 2 tests.
Okay, so cue the hat-trick by Lungi Ngidi. He's coming around the forward and defended on the middle stump down to find leg for a lazy single. That last delivery that was played by Azhar Ali went just past the man standing at a leg gully through the air. So there was a bit of an opportunity there, just a little bit squarer, and that would have been straight to the man for a catch there. 1 ball to go in Ngidi's fourth over. 58 for 4 is the score now. Pakistan trail by 162.
A friendly wager then, Tim. Ngidi will take more wickets than Nokia this series.
Okay. No, I'll take you up on that, sure. No problem.
Ngidi outside off stump, and this one is back driven straight to extra cover by Azhar Ali, and there is no run. End of the 26th over, 58 for 4.
Yeah.
Nokia will clean up that tail. That tail of Pakistan's.
Possibly. He did clean up Abid Ali, not Abid Ali, Shaheen Shah Afridi yesterday, didn't he?
Yes.
That was a typical tail-ender, and he's probably good at that. So you might be right.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind being wrong. I wouldn't mind you being wrong, Tim, about Ngidi. If he takes lots of wickets in the series, that'll be great. Continues, he goes around the wicket to forward. Alam plays this off his pads, past the man at square leg down to the fielder on sweeping on the onside boundary. They take just a single, 59 for 4. Ball went quickly to the man on the boundary, so they couldn't get another run there, and they didn't. They realized that they were in a test match and didn't take a quick 2. So this will bring Azhar Ali on strike.
Tweeting in
over the wicket to him, to Azhar Ali, and this one is played outside off stump to point, no run. Yes, tweets.
We've got a tweet on Guerrilla Cricket, really, but from Dr. Dan Diapa, who's made a sketch of Azhar Ali driving. So I thought it's worthwhile tweeting it into us as well, to Guerrilla SA. I don't think Guerrilla SA is part of his tweet list otherwise. So take a look at that.
Yes. Thanks, Ravi. Rabada over the wicket on to off and middle stump. Azhar Ali jumps up in the air as it was quite high and just deflects it down to left side, backward of square, and they take a single, 60 for 4. Yes, that account is worth following. And it's Dr. Dan Diapa, you say?
I said Diapa because I think he's once told us how to pronounce it, but it could be Diapa. Okay. Most people pronounce it Diapa, but I believe he's Dr. Dan Diapa.
Yes, and definitely an account worth following. He posts these beautiful hand-drawn or painted sketches of action on the cricket field. Rabada around the wicket, forward Alam defends this out to extra cover region, the left-hander, and there's no run. They've got a first slip in now for the left-hander. Everybody else is sort of on the ring of the one-day field, and quite a balanced field, leg side and offside. So that does tell me that the tactic or the plan is to attack the stumps, to try and get the LBW or get the bowl dismissal, to give the bowler protection on either side. And to do that, you have to take out some of the slip fielders. This one is played upside off to mid on for no run by forward Alam. He's on 50 of 32.
Absolutely, the field is split, and there are no close and catching fielders on offside. So they don't cross the movement of the pitch.
Yes.
As we discussed, forward Alam's technique says you should bowl there on the stumps.
Forward Alam plays this one over the man at square leg, who jumped up into the air to try and catch that ball, but it was safely over the frame of Tembo Bavuma. And they take a single, 61 for 4. Let's see a replay there. And Rabada thinks he would have gotten that wicket. He says that was a chance. So let's see the replay.
Temba, that would have been a chance. Anyone but Temba, that would have been a chance.
Oh, he was just too slow in reacting. If he had just had slightly more cat-like reflexes, he would have been able to get to that. It wasn't too high. It just didn't jump early enough. So it went over his head as his hands came up above his head. So almost a wicket there for South Africa for Bavuma and Rabada. 61 for 4. End of the over. Gidi to continue. Yes.
What you needed to shine through his height. That's what he needed. He needed to be 6'8".
Anybody taller would have caught that, or anybody else in the team would have caught that in front of their face. But it went so quickly, it might have injured somebody else. So
I think that's unfair to Temba.
He wasn't too short to catch it. He just wasn't quick enough. That's how quick the ball came to him. Ngidi now round the wicket to forward Alam, who plays this off his front leg as the ball was going down leg, down to fine leg for a single. 62 for 4 is the score now. Field switching around for the right-hander.
Grounds his bat facing square leg, and then he turns. It's the most amazing technique, if you can call it that.
If you're not watching live on TV, do watch the highlights when you get home or when you have a chance, because forward Alam's stance and the way he prepares himself to face the bowling is something to behold. It's something interesting and strange, and not the everyday kind of thing that you see on a cricket field. Azhar Ali facing Ngidi, who's coming over the wicket and hiding the ball. So they're thinking they might get some reverse here, and they go through for a single to cover, and score moves on for Azhar Ali to 22 of 66 and Pakistan 63 of 4. Forward Alam 17 of 34.
I do think that Mr. Chick was a bad of having a short leg. That's the fourth time that forward Alam hit the ball on the leg side in the vicinity of short leg, because he notices the man's not there. I think that Mr. Trick there.
But
I agree.
Have been taking that catch, or would it have been ducking and moving away? The speed that ball went at.
In swinging Yorker onto forward Alam's feet, and he manages to get this out with a leading edge. And Ngidi thinks he's got something going here with the reverse, because he's covering the ball with his hand as he's running up, or at least he's trying to make the batsman think maybe that he's getting reversed. But that was a good Yorker by Ngidi. Maybe just not full enough, not fast enough to get past the bat, but good delivery.
Otto, you're breaking up again.
Okay.
Ravi, I'm talking in a more general sense. So obviously that previous one would not have been called short leg. But if you don't have a particular position where somebody doesn't like it, he's going to continue hitting it in the air because he knows that the fieldsman's not there. He doesn't feel threatened. If the short leg is there, I don't think he plays that shot.
You're breaking up too a little bit, Tim.
Good point. That last one by Ngidi was way down leg side through to the keeper for no run, and he comes in again for the fifth delivery of his fifth over. They just showed us Nortje also hiding the ball as Ngidi is doing now. This one on leg stump, played down or deflected down to fine leg. That's a single. Scored now 64-4. One ball to go in the 28th over. Azhar Ali on 22 of 66 will be pressing it, and forward Alam is on 18 of 37.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, because I think I might be having Wi-Fi problems, but we'll have to see.
Okay.
You're sounding good on my side.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay, you're loud and clear. Ngidi over the wicket to Azhar Ali on all stump, coming into the right-hander, and that is no run, just fended to mid-off. End of the 28th over, 64-4.
Even Mpo agrees. His ball is reversing a little now. He should keep the quicks interested, but I would like to see some spin now. Spin for overs now. And I'm not sure it's reversing. I like those idea better that he's giving the impression that it's reversing. After take 28 overs. Who knows? You could be right.
Yes, well, like I said, maybe they are hiding the ball in that way to make the batsman think that it's reversing.
Exactly.
Just some doubt in there.
Nice double laugh. But they're sticking with the pace plan, clearly.
Yeah, I couldn't see any shape at all. So it must be some psychological games going on. Some gamesmanship, as they say.
As they show at the screen, the leading wicket takers test for Pakistan with Yasir Shah in 6th place. 200 and... Let's go back.
230, yeah. Okay, Rabada is going to carry on with the attack, and he will be bowling to the left-handed forward Alam with standing next to his stumps and taking guard now as Rabada comes in. He leaves this one outside off stump for no run.
Oh dear, Quinton's trying to be a proactive captain again, constantly telling Ngidi where he should bowl and what he should do.
I think if you don't like him, captain.
I saw the bowlers talking to one another, but I wouldn't take a lot of bowling advice from Quinton, I must be honest.
Exactly.
Rabada around the wicket to forward Alam. This one defended to the onside, down the pitch, no run. So, yes, we see replays here of Quinton talking to Lungi Ngidi. Well, you know, the batsman can often tell the bowler what the other team's batsman might be thinking and what they're picking up that the batsmen of the other team are doing wrong. So that could be helpful, but certainly not in terms of how he should bowl. Rabada around the wicket to forward Alam, left alone again. He sort of shapes to play these past few deliveries, and this one included, and then whips his bat out of the way. More adding even more movement to
he's just adding more idiosyncrasies to his action, isn't he? To his technique.
Yes.
That is crazy.
That's a
so he flicks the bat in an arching motion away from the ball behind his back, behind his back as he leaves the ball. Rabada into forward Alam around the wicket. This time he dabs it down into the ground to mid-on, and there's no run. And the score is still 64-4.
You think it's a result of all those years of first-class cricket and making runs, where he's added idiosyncrasy after idiosyncrasy to his technique without ever being challenged on it. So that now he's come into Test cricket with a full set of idiosyncrasies.
I watched his Test debut the other day on YouTube, and his technique was nothing like this.
And he faces Rabada again, coming round the wicket, and this time it's played behind point for a single. Third man runs around, and the score is now 65 for 4 for Pakistan.
So we need to blame Pakistani first-class cricket for this.
It was far more conventional on his Test debut. Far more conventional.
I would guess that it would be the other way around, that, you know, you play that sort of way because that's how you feel comfortable when you start learning the game and you start playing in your school or your backyard or whatever, and then you sort of take away some of that flamboyant moves as you get older and as you move up the ranks. Rabada goes over the wicket now to Azhar Ali, who blocks this one wide and full outside off stump. One slip and a gully in for Azhar Ali. And I think that is the end of the over. Yes, 29 overs gone, 65 for 4.
Thembelani replies to Umpo saying, been impressed with the little I saw of George Linder. I haven't seen Linder, so I don't know what his bowling is like.
He's quite good.
He was good with the ball and the bat. Both parts.
Yeah, that was in the ODIs against Sri Lanka, right? Or the T20s or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a definite opportunity for the spinner coming to Pakistan, coming to the subcontinent. This is, as a spin bowler, this is where you want to be playing. This is where you want to be bowling, and this is where you really need to show that you're a wicket-taking option. Because if you can't take wickets as a spinner on these surfaces, then you probably need to reevaluate. As Ngidi continues over the around the wicket to Fawad Alam, this one is full and wide of leg stump through to the keeper for no run.
True, you do, but don't forget, countries like South Africa and England and even Australia and New Zealand have traditionally relied upon pace, so they often go into the subcontinent still relying on pace and sometimes playing just one spinner, as South Africa is, well, two this time. But they think our pacers are good enough to get wickets even on those surfaces.
Now for Fawad Alam, they've taken the slip out and put a leg gully in as Ngidi goes around the wicket to him. He clips this off his feet out to mid-on, wide of mid-on, where it's fielded now by, it looks like, Dean Algar. And they take a single. 66 for 4, 67 for 4, it looks like here.
Because you see it even in what Quinton's doing just now. How many overs this morning has he bowled his seamers? He hasn't taken a shot at spin at all. And you can't claim that the ball is new. It's nearly 30 overs old.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Ravi. If something isn't working, you should change your ideas there. This one around the wicket by Ngidi through to the keeper left alone by Fawad Alam, no run. The score is indeed 67 for 4 and 3 balls to go in the 30th over.
I won't allow this to be the Quinton de Kock bashing hour, but if there's one thing that he does need to work on, is to how he brings up the spin bowlers. He didn't have much help in Sri Lanka because Sri Lanka was so poor, so he didn't really have time to bring in Maharaj. So that was not really his fault.
Also, that wasn't South African pitches, so there is a difference there where you can trust your pacers. But on subcontinental pitches,
this one by Ngidi round the wicket to the left-handed Fawad Alam. He plays this to fine leg, gets a deflection and almost brings the leg gully into play there. Is that a leg slip or a leg gully? I don't know, but the ball went just wide, just to the right of the man standing there, Markram, at leg. Looks like a leg gully. And so that plan almost coming off there. But it's something that I've had a problem with South African sport ever since I can remember. Is there's if Plan A doesn't work, we stick with Plan A. There's no Plan B. There's no thinking on your feet. And Gidi goes over the wicket to Azhar Ali, and this one is defended outside off stump for no run. And I see that in all of the sports that I follow where South Africa play. There's no Plan B. There we see some more product placement with the T coming through again there. So
are we out of time?
Two people lucky enough to sit and watch the cricket. I wonder who they are. Must be very important guys. Okay.
No, they're drinking tea. See, they're drinking tea.
Yes. But who are they? Why are they? How did they get into the stadium?
I think that's an ad, actually. I think that's actually an ad.
This is our last over on the commentary team here as Ngidi comes in over the wicket, and this one is sprayed down the left side through to the keeper for no run.
Leah responds in defense of Quinton de Kock. She says, to be fair, Pakistan is probably, historically, the best place in the subcontinent to bowl pace.
Ravi, have we got any tweets before we leave?
She's just said that. Leah. And Mpo says, we'll be live on Guerrilla SA on 1WSR.com for the hour before lunch in this day 2. So Mpo should be coming on.
Yes, they will be with us shortly. He's going to pop in and remove us at any moment. But I think he said that this next over might be a final over, but we'll see what the production team decide. And I see that Chepo is already in the green room, so to speak. He's ready to come onto the air. So all the Chepo fans, get ready. He's ready to come on.
He said, thanks for coming to check to the poll.
The 30 overs is the score. 68 for 4. Pakistan forward Alam is now going to face Nortje. And this one is played. So Nortje has replaced Rabada. This one is played to the onside square of the wicket for no run.
What I would say, talking about spin bowlers in South Africa, is that Faf du Plessis was a very good captain of spin. He allowed people like Maharaj to bowl at difficult times, and he trusted him very much. He's certainly our best captain for spin bowlers. When he was at our best, he really trusted spin bowlers.
Yeah, he did have a bit more creativity in his captaincy. This one is defended by forward Alam into the ground and 2 first slip. So no chance of a catch there. So it's still 68 for 4.
To be fair, Quinton de Kock is still considered a placekeeper captain rather than a permanent captain going forward.
Yes, he is. But you've got to trust your spinners and overs, as you say. You pick 2 spinners, you've got to trust them.
Yes.
Yeah. And don't forget.
You're absolutely right. If you're going to pick 2 spinners, why are you bowling an entire hour without at least giving one of them a chance? And Nortje around the wicket to forward Alam again. He defends this to the onside and there is no run. So you can...
An interesting question for you, Otto, and for you, Tim, is if Shamsi had been fit to play, then they only have had Nortje and Rabada. Would he have been forced to go to spin by now?
Yes.
Probably, yes.
Don't forget, Ngidi is only a replacement player.
You can't bowl Rabada into the ground. You just can't. You can't bowl Jewel like that into the ground.
Nortje around the wicket to forward Alam. They take a quick single to mid-on. And the score is 69 for 4.
He is considering Ngidi as a spin bowler.
He's athletic enough. I'm sure if you give him any kind of sport or any kind of discipline in sport to try and figure out, he's going to do it. So,
well, this team could do with an off spinner. We need the ball to go the other way.
Yeah. So he's brought back Nortje instead of giving it to a spinner. I mean,
oh, that's not. Azhar Ali facing Nortje now, and they've got a slip in. Two men on the square leg position. This one is short and ducked underneath it by Azhar Ali, and there's no run. 69 for 4.
Well, they've definitely scored 42 runs in this stand now.
Quinton hasn't read the book that says you bowl a spin the last over before the break, whether it's drinks or lunch. You bowl. That's what you do. You always do that.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. The kind of Stephen Fleming, like, think on your feet captaincy. Look at what's going on and try things. If the plans you had before the start of play aren't working, try something else. Nortje to Azhar Ali. This one is short, defended to off his chest by Azhar Ali into the onside, and there is no run. That's the end of the over. That's the end of our commentary time here. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Robbie. It was so nice to be with you guys on the air this morning, and I'll be following and watching as much as I can.
Just suffice to say that Dr. Dan has now included Guerrilla SA in his atlas for his a lovely picture of Lungi Ngidi in the 28th over in his fifth.
Okay, thank you very so thank you very much, guys. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you guys later on as we let in Tepo and Ken in. Hi Ken, hi Tepo. Oh, let me add Tepo in. How are you guys doing? Yes, perfect, 100%.
How's it, Ken? How you doing?
Yeah. Okay. Ken, are you? We're just doing a little bit of housekeeping. Ken, are you TV?
I am TV. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Ken and I are TV. Tip, I'm just going to ask you to go onto tweets.
100%.
Is that okay? Cool. And then I'll just do ball by ball from this side. And yeah, how are you guys doing? What do you guys think of the first hour? I'll start with Ken.
Yeah, I think it was some probing bowling by South Africa. Really impressed with Kagiso Rabada's efforts. I mean, he really tested the batsman, dragged some life and bounce out of that pitch, which probably not many quick bowlers would manage to do. Was a bit unlucky. I just thought Pakistan batted well to rotate the strike, but also the fielding, a couple of lapses that allowed them to do that as well. So that was a little disappointing, but I thought a reasonable effort by the South African bowlers, but good batting kept them out.
Okay, Tepo, what did you think?
Yeah, I'm definitely agreeing with Ken about KG. He's really had a very probing spell in the first hour. My question is, as the commentator said previously, where's the spinners? Why is Lungi Ngidi bowling so many overs when he was the replacement bowler? What was the original plan here? Were we planning to get in some spin, or when are the spinners going to come in? We saw that there was a lot of turn off on offer for the likes of Shah in the previous innings, but I feel it's unfortunate that we don't have that strike variation that Shamsi could have brought. But I don't think that putting in George Linder would be a bad idea, or even Keshav Maharaj. He only had one over yesterday, and he got a wicket, and still he's not getting more balls. So
okay, Tepo, well, your wishes are granted right now. Keshav Maharaj is going to start the first hour after the last hour before lunch. After the drinks break, he's going to bowl. He's got one wicket for no runs in his 2 overs. And I do think this hour was, because the ball was reversing, there was some hint of reverse. They wanted to give the bowlers the best opportunity to bowl because the conditions will get harder. And also when the ball gets a little bit older, yes, it helps with the reverse, but I think at least with a hardish ball, it's 31 overs old. So you can try to do something. So as we look, Keshav's got a slip and a short leg. He's got a fielder at extra cover just off the square. Tufad Alam Faf is at a wideish mid-off. And you've got a fielder at on the offside at third man. We'll just get you a leg side-ish field as he bowls his first ball. This one gets an inside edge onto the pad, just comes down and sign him a little bit of turn there, guys.
I'm still behind the feed. Sorry. Keshav Maharaj is still warming up.
That's okay. I've got Ken with me here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there was turn already on the first day, so no surprise that Kesh turned the first one.
Mm-hmm. Next ball is swept by Farah Alam. I think this is the first sweep we've seen all game, and down to the field at a fine leg. The leg side field is a shortish mid-wicket, and who's on the square, that's Timber, and there's a fielder just about 10 meters inside of him, square of him, there closer to square leg, as Keshav now comes over the wicket to the around the wicket to the right-handed Azhar Ali. He's got extra cover. He's got a fielder at point, a fielder at cover, and a mid-off. This one's driven down the ground. Faf du Plessis plays that back. Is the fielder at mid-on, no run there. 70 for 4.
Yeah, just to agree with you, Impo, about the tactics this morning with the pacemen. I think with Lungi and Gidi, late inclusion in the side, they did want to give him the best bowling conditions, which would be a harder ball.
Next ball is just played out to the fielder at mid-off for no run. Keshav gets through his overs very quickly, which is something of a godsend for Quinton de Kock right now. Over rates will become a problem with the three seamers. Kesh in for the next ball. This one outside edge of the bat. They take a single to Timber, but he can't get his footwork correct to get that shy at the stumps, and it will be a single. Good rotation of the strike from the Pakistani bowlers.
I must say, I've been very impressed with the running between the wickets of Azhar and Fawad Adram this morning. They've been alive to every possibility for a single, and that's really allowed them to rotate the strike well.
And that's the difference between, because I felt South Africa yesterday were quite aggressive in their intent, which is great, and you want the positivity. It's just I felt that there's that fine line between being positive and being aggressive, and I think today Pakistan is showing that positive nature of that line. That last ball just played out to the leg side for no run. Tsepo, do you have any tweets?
No tweets yet. Oh wait, one has just come in by Ravi Naya. I'd be interested in seeing if anyone but Fawad tries to sweep Maharaj. Subcontinental batsmen are not usually sweepers, except maybe with the spin.
Yeah, and I think it speaks to what you were saying, Impo, about positivity. And I think you're 100% right. South Africa got the balance wrong yesterday. And I think it also speaks to skill in playing the spin. That, the Pakistan batsmen have that extra skill to be able to manipulate the ball, get the ones, and they generally do it by using their feet and driving, playing straight, with a straight bat, whereas maybe South Africans with slightly less confidence in doing that, we tend to revert to the sweep a bit earlier.
Yes, I think that is quite true. The interesting part is in the women's game, they also do similar. They also have a similar mindset in terms of if it's a spinner, we'll sweep regardless of what's going on. Next ball from Nokia, just play it outside the off stump of Azhar Ali, who plays it back to the bowler. No run there. It just the parallels are very similar in terms of how, especially because the sweep is a get out of jail free card, but it's not a card that you should use quite a lot unless if you have a bowler who you know that you can sweep going with the spin, not against it. This one outside the left hand is a short ball, and Azhar Ali shoulders arms to that one, goes leg side of him, and it is no run, 71 for 4. It was just interesting to see because obviously the women's team are playing Pakistan right now in Durban, which is probably one of the best spin-friendly pitches around, and in their handling of the Pakistani women spinners, they would revert to the sweep quite early. Rather than necessarily watching and waiting, because obviously subcontinental batsmen would want to see what the ball actually does off the deck and then figure out a game plan from there. Next ball just played out to the leg side. Very good ball, honing in on that off stump. And Azhar Ali bringing his bat down to the leg side. They've managed to take a single there. Does it look like they took a single? I think so. Yes, they know. Azhar Ali was sent back. It was a yes, no situation, which is confusing all of us right now here at One World Sports Radio. Remember, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Periscope, which is on Twitter at the One World Sports Radio page, as well as you can tweet into us at Guerilla SA at GUERILLA SA. Next ball's a short ball down the leg side. Azhar Ali just showed his arms to that one. The direction is slightly off, which is something that Anrich needs to fix. Ken, there were a lot of people lamenting the use of the short ball in the first hour. We didn't use it quite a lot. I think we got carried away with the reverse swing, which I think the guys, it's the first time they've seen the ball reverse swing since Sandpaper Gate. I kind of felt that they needed to put a little bit more short balls as well.
Yeah, I think there was a period when KG had two guys back on the leg side when I think maybe the threat of the short ball was used more than the actual short ball. And there's a bit of inconsistent bounce there. So I think we will see South Africa's pacemen keep that up their sleeve, the short ball.
There's a couple of field setting changes here for Anrich Nortje as he tries to hold off, as is now ready to take the ball. South Africa.
Just in terms of the short ball tactic, I don't think it would work on this pitch necessarily. We saw a lot of variable bounce, and also the ball isn't. Quinton isn't catching the ball very high; he's catching it very low. So the pitch isn't offering much bounce for the short ball tactic to work as efficiently as the South Africans would hope. You'd hope that there'd be more bounce extracted from the pitch, but there just isn't enough for that. And I think that's the reason we haven't seen much short deliveries. Many short deliveries.
That last ball was just played out to the offside. This one was honing in on off stump, and Azhar Ali playing it out to the leg side. Very good over here with Anrich. He's made Azhar play a lot of his balls here, and this one riding the extra bounce there outside the off stump, all out to Markram at a point, and it will be a maiden over. End of that one. Oh, it's not a maiden over. They took a quick single, which is good from a Pakistani perspective, and it is 72 for 4. We're just the cameramen are playing a little bit of games with us here as we bring you this match off the television. Keegan Peterson is on the field. We'll just let you know who he is on for. Tsepo, I do agree with you in terms of the pitch, but it's just one of those things where you want to bring in the variation here and there, not necessarily sit on the short ball like you would in South Africa. It's just to keep some of the batsmen honest. We know the ball's reversing, so do that, especially to a bowler like Fahad Alam. Keshav starting his over around the wicket to Azhar Ali. Great use of his feet. He plays that out to Faf du Plessis at mid-on, I beg your pardon, for a single. Because Fahad Alam moves across the pitch, Ken, what do you think the seamers should be looking to bowl to him? Is the angle correct? Because everyone's come around the wicket to him. Do you think it would work if they came over the wicket to try and see how his defenses work with that angle?
I think the first thing about Fahad Alam is to not get suckered in by the highly unorthodox square-on stance he starts with. So you need to stick to good lines and lengths.
Keshav with another ball, very full and swept with a little bit of a slip there from Fahad Alam. His front foot just gave way there, but he managed to get the ball out to the fielder on the 45 on the leg side in the circle for a single. Looks like Fawad just wants to sweep Keshav Maharaj. The ball is turning into him, and so it's a little bit easier for him to do that.
I do think with Fawad though, because in a way he's really lunging and planting that front foot of his, so he might be vulnerable to the ball swinging into him, which I think is why also the pacemen have gone around the wicket, angling it into him.
Yes, next ball just Azhar Ali just defends it up back to the bowler, no run. Maharaj in again. The slip is a little bit squarer this time, and it's a fuller ball, and Azhar just plays that out to mid on. Faf du Plessis, the fielder there. The pace of Keshav is really interesting. It's like 88 kilometers per hour. I'd also like him to vary that a little bit more instead of just darting the ball in. Kesh in again. This one, he gives a little bit of flight opportunity to grip as well. Slightly slower than the previous ball. And Azhar looking for a gap between the slip and the fielder on the ring, that short third man there. But it's not. It's actually more of a gully type of field. He's just hanging around there just behind the slip, and no run. Keshin again, lovely ball. Looks like it straightened a little bit. And Azhar just defend that outside the off stump for no run. This partnership is worth 47. Tshepo, what do you think the South Africans need to? Obviously, wickets are at a premium, but right now they're not happening. What's the plan? If you're Quinton, what would the plan be?
I think the plan would be to. It's a bit difficult because you want to manage your bowlers here. You don't want to overuse the pace bowlers too much, especially if you see them as strike bowlers. So I think the plan for the South Africans now would be to tie up one end, make sure that we're not leaking too many runs, and then keep probing on the other end. Whether we do it with a strike pace bowler or strike spin bowler, I think it's about holding up one end and striking on the other. It's also the Pakistani batsmen are also doing very well. Got themselves a 47-run partnership here with my feet. Sorry, my feet's a bit behind, so if they're a little ahead, sorry about that. But yeah, these two have really stuck in very nicely, and the likes of Rizwan also mean that there's some decent batting to come. And we also saw in the New Zealand series that the Pakistani order is more established towards the lower end. So we need to just make sure that we stay focused, hit the right lines, tie up one end, and not get too carried away on the other.
Yes, first ball of Nortje's over. This one's played out to the leg side. It was too far alarm around the wicket, still with that line the South Africans are probing, and it was no run. Next ball outside the off stump, Fard Alam looking at that, but he lets it go. It looked like he was shaping to play that one outside the off stump, but it's another dot ball.
I think South Africa might even try and almost stop the runs being scored at both ends now. Maybe just hold back a bit, try and create pressure. I think they're going to try and get more reverse swing, and obviously for that you don't want the batsman coming forward and being aggressive. So they're going to, I think, just try and squeeze Pakistan a bit here now.
Yes, Nortje in again. This one is short and wide and slapped to the point boundary. There is no fielder there. Lovely shot there from Fard Alam, and it takes their score to a 78 for 4.
Does that bring up the 50 partnership as well?
Yes, it does. 51 partnership, run partnership of 110 balls. Just a very beautiful shot there. Just waited for it. It looks like the other thing about this pitch, it seems as though obviously we understand. Obviously, when you bowl a short ball, it just died on as it got towards the bowler. So the batsman, and so Fard Alam had a lot of time to cut that.
You see, that's what I was talking about. Oh, sorry, Ken, please go ahead.
No, it actually, there was reasonable bounce there. It got up to about shoulder high, but as you said in Poet, it really was slow coming off the pitch.
Yeah, I was mentioning something like that earlier. It's just that the short ball doesn't look like it'll be as effective on this pitch.
We have a bit of a side screen issue here, so we can carry on, Ken.
Yeah, I think the purpose of the short ball will be just to drive the batsman back, just so that they can't just lunge onto that front foot all the time. Obviously, reverse swing is most effective if you've got the batsman hanging on the back foot. So that short ball will just be used, I think, to push them back every now and then.
Yeah, just to keep them honest, and I think that's essentially how you want to build your bowling innings as a bowler in a test match, to just always try keep the batsman honest as much as you can, and be consistent with your lines and length, which the South Africans have been, but the Pakistanis have just one-upped them with the ability to rotate the strike. This ball coming in, it comes into the left-handed Fard. You could say it was a hint of a little bit of reverse swing there. It hit him just outside that leg stump, going down to the leg side. No run there. Nothing to be worried about from an LBW perspective. No run.
Just what we were discussing earlier about the playing of spin. I do feel that I need to defend the sweep shot a bit, as anyone who's seen me bat knows how much I love playing it.
Next ball, just cramping Alam Faroum there outside the off stump, and he's had to push that tentatively off the back foot to the fielder at mid-on and no run. Yes, Ken, your sweep shot, let's defend
it. I think it really does depend also on what sort of field setting you're up against. So there are times when the sweep shot is a very useful release shot for batsmen, just to rotate the strike against spin, especially if they're not confident using their feet and coming down the pitch.
Do you think after this ball, Nokia in this one down the leg side, there's a fielder at square leg who can't get that ball, but there is a sweeper behind him there for a single. Great. Nokia is causing Fawad a lot of problems with the ball coming into him. Fawad playing it down the leg side with a lot of fielders there and a lot of catches there at the end of that over, 79 for 4. Ken, do you think that the South Africans, the use of feet to spin is something that needs to come into the South African game? It seems to be lost to that. I understand subcontinental players do that a lot, but it seems like it's one of those skills that take you from probably good to great when it comes to batting.
South Africa can definitely improve a large amount when it comes to using their feet. And, you know, it's been a long-term thing. I can remember back to the 1970s and 1980s when Alan Curry, a slow left-arm orthodox bowler who didn't turn the ball much, was really dominant as a bowler in South African cricket. And then suddenly the rebel tourists arrived, Australia in particular, and they totally nullified him by using their feet because he'd just never really seen it before.
Keshav starting his third over of the morning. This ball just going on with the arm there and a little bit wider and played out a beautiful shot for 4 to the point boundary. Fawad Alam seemingly has his eye in, especially with the balls outside the off stump, and he's now bringing that offside game into the 4 here. Next ball from Keshav. This one outside the off stump, stumping chance there. Quick ball beating the bat, bringing Fawad Alam forward. But great keeping from Quinton de Kock, something that I love to see behind the stump. I think he's a really great gloveman.
Quinton certainly is, and you know, even if he's going through a bit of a lean time with the bat at the moment, his keeping just continues to be of a very high standard.
Yes, that is very true. Keshav in. This ball coming into Fawad Alam, dying as it got to the batsman, and Fawad Alam adjusting in time to take that ball away from his off stump there. A very good ball from Keshav, but looks like it came out of the rough there, which is something that Fawad Alam needs to be very cognizant of. He tries to sweep again in this next ball, but there's a little bit of an appeal. I think Keshav just clearing out the pipes as the ball did hit Fawad Alam outside the off stump, and a single was taken in that sequence to take the score to 83 for 4. I don't think Quinton's going to be using DRS for this one.
Let's hope not. Well outside off stump. But Keshav certainly troubling Fawad Alam in this over.
Yes, with the slip and that short leg, Keshav down the leg side with Azhar Ali there. Who just plays that out into the leg side for no run. Nothing to be worried about. Aiden's under the helmet, which is also something that scares me a little, but somebody has to do it. This one, next ball is a full toss through the legs of Aiden Markram, a very bad ball to end this over, and it will tease Kagiso to the boundary, that mid-wicket boundary for 4.
No, that's unfortunate. After such a tight over, I'm looking at the fifth ball about to be bowled here, and Kesh was hitting the right length. Batsman really getting forward to use his feet, because what you see with his stance, starting from a very wide square on, he has to step really far to get all the way to the offside. So maybe catching him out of balance there might be the tactic. And if he just gets a little bit of turn on the pitch, he's in for all money. But unfortunately, the 4 ball at the end just spoiled all that pressure.
Yes. Next over, we're seeing a change in bowling. The first sighting of George Linder in this Test series. He's played 2 matches. He's taken 4 wickets at an average of 33.25. He is, I think, still the leading wicket taker in a 4-day series. He's really helped the Cobras out. The Cobras haven't had a great start to the season, but George Linder has come to the fore with bat and ball.
Now, definitely with the bat, he was looking in good nick, good technique. So it's good to see him with the ball now.
You see, I loved how he bowled in India. I thought, obviously, he didn't take a lot of wickets, but I thought he really did a job when he was called upon. And it's going to be interesting to see if he will get a little bit more luck than Keshav Maharaj. They are both left arm orthodox bowlers, but there's still a little bit of a difference between the two, and so let's hope for South Africa's sake that difference is what opens up an end. First ball slightly short, and it's pulled by Fawad Alam, helps him take a single, came off the short leg there, that is Aiden Markram, and it was picked up at square leg for a single.
Just on the 4-day competition, George Linder was the leading wicket taker. He slipped down a bit, but he's only played 3 matches and took 15 wickets at an average of 23. Since then, overtaken Sean van Berg, the Knights leg spinner, top of the charts with 24 wickets in 5.
He's one guy. Sean van Berg's one guy I thought he'd be on tour as well. Lovely ball from George Linder, get the ball straightening to the right-hander. Azhar Ali defends it back to him, no run. I thought Sean van Berg would be on this tour, but I think the South Africans in South Africa thought they might need a little bit more seaming options than the spin options, only to find out yesterday that they could have actually potentially played 3 spinners. George Linder in again for his 3rd ball of this over, and outside the off stump, there's a bit of an appeal from Quinton de Kock behind the stumps. They're appealing to the ball hit the bat first. But there was a lunge from Azhar Ali. The DRS time is going. Quinton's not going to do it, surely not. He does it. He does it.
Oh.
He reviews.
He's trigger happy with these reviews, man.
Well, he had I thought the go he had early this morning for pad before bat was actually a risk worth taking when I think Andrek Nortje got a bit of tail into Azhar Ali. This one, I'm not so sure about this one, but the replay will show all.
Yes, this ball coming in, lovely ball. Looks like it pitched on middle and off and straightened, and there is bat there. The question is, did the ball hit the pad first or the bat first? And so we'll have a look at that on Snicko. You can see on Ultra Edge the massive spike, which gives an indication that it hit the pad first, then the bat. So Quinton might be in with a bit of a shout there. Obviously, I think the question the umpire is asking is, when it hit the pad, was the bat simultaneously there. But Ken, I wouldn't want to be a third umpire in this situation.
Yeah, this is a very tough call. I don't think you can say with certainty that it wasn't bat and pad at the same time, and it looks like that's what the
yes
umpires decided.
And so on-field decision stands, and South Africa lose a review. What do you think of that review in hindsight now, Ken?
Yeah, even live, I thought it was a bit risky, and now South Africa only have one review remaining, which is potentially a troublesome scenario for the rest of the semis.
Yes, Quinton looks bemused. I think he thought that oh my word, Quinny. He lives on that risky side of the line.
I'm looking at the review now, and it's actually a good one. Yeah, you can't. It's very inconclusive. Yeah, so it's unfortunate that he's lost the review there. I like that he's taking the risk. I like that it was closer than it seemed initially, and he wasn't afraid to use those reviews. I mean, that's what they're there for. So it's a bit aggressive, but I was hoping he'd be a bit more, I don't know, prudent with his decision making, especially just evaluating whether it would be worth risking losing those reviews.
Next ball from Linda just played out to the offside. They thought of the run, and Fahad Alam was sent back, no run there. And George Linda resumes again. I think from the next ball, in slip, short leg to Azhar Ali. Beautiful ball, quicker ball into Azhar Ali, straightening into the right-hander, and Azhar just defending that out to the leg side, no run.
Yeah, I just think you've got to be careful not to use the reviews almost as a sort of gamble, as a sort of strategy to try and get wickets. So there, if you are pretty sure the umpire's made a mistake.
Linda in to Azhar Ali down the leg side. This ball's going on with that angle there, and it enables the Pakistan batsman to come out to take no, they didn't take a single. They did take a single, and that's the end of that one. It's the score now is 90 for 4. It was leg byes there, given to the given to the field, well, to the fielding team there and the score is now 90 for 4. Sebs, do you have any tweets?
Just thinking of Quinton de Kock and his review. Oh no tweets. No tweets at all. Just thinking of Quinton de Kock and his reviews. I wonder how many reviews he's gotten correct, or how often reviews actually do get called in the favor of the captain that called them. I'm trying to find out where you can find those stats, if you can even.
Keshav resuming.
If you have those stats, please tweet us.
Yes, please do tweet us. Keshav's first ball of the next over played out to the offside. He's around the wicket to Azhar Ali, and defended out nicely to the offside. In again, there's a sweep, paddle sweep there behind that fielder who's at short leg. Aiden did try to come behind square to stop that one, but in managing to help the Pakistanis get a single there with a lovely use of the angles.
Just on the selection issue with Sean van Berg, obviously van Berg in great form this season.
This next one, Fahad Alam has come over the wicket to the left-hander. Ball was coming into him a little bit quicker, and Fahad played it out to the leg side, no run. I thought they'd take it. I thought they'd go with four spinners, like they would normally do. I think in India they did that. Kesh in again. This one off the back foot by Fahad Alam. This was honing in on off stump, and he played that really nicely. But some great fielding from Rashid mid-on, no run.
Yeah, I don't think we've often chosen 4 spinners. I mean, you've got Keshav Maharaj, who's obviously the number 1 spinner. You then got an attacking spinner in Shamsi.
This ball was next ball is played out by Far Alam, flat batted shots to the field at extra cover. A little bit of a misfield, but there is no run there.
And then you also want, I guess, a spinner who's a bit of a batting option as well, and that's George Linder. So I think if Tavay Shamsi had got injured before the series, then I guess Sean van Berg would have been the like-for-like replacement. Shamsi's also been superb in the 4-day competition.
Yes. Far Alam with a forward press there, looking to get the ball past the short mid-wicket there, who is Temba Bavuma. And he couldn't. Temba was really honing in on there. He's actually not short mid-wicket. He's a silly mid-on. They're slightly wide. But good over there from Keshav Maharaj. Just a single coming off of it. Yes, Ken?
Shamsi's taken 15 wickets in 2 matches this season in 4-day cricket. So probably the right call that he's the best option as an attacking spinner at the moment. And just a great pity that he couldn't play in this test match, because it would have been really interesting to see him in these helpful conditions.
Yes, let's talk about Mark Boucher's press conference. We'll talk about it through this. I found him very confident, and it looked like the South Africans were going to be quite aggressive. First ball from Linder, just down the leg side, going on with that angle. Quinny just fumbled that ball a little bit there, looking for that stumping chance, no run. And when he kept on talking about you have to he kind of said you gotta live or die trying. That was the theme of that press conference. And the fact that he was going to play 2, I didn't think they were going to go to that extra end to try and play 3, but obviously Shamsi's back injury kind of hurt him there. Next ball is a dot ball played out to the leg side and a run.
Yeah, a little birdie, if you like, tipped me off that all 3 were going to play, which would have been a fantastic attacking move, I think, and a real change in mindset.
Mm-hmm. Oh, ball outside the off stump from Linder. The line wasn't great. Azhar Ali thought of cutting that, but he got the under edge and it hit him on the boot. That ball could have gone anywhere. It just ended up just coming back onto his pad then run. Yeah, I was excited. I like that type of thinking, that unorthodox type of thinking. Linder in again, outside the off stump is an easy ball there. Pressure release one as the Pakistanis. Oh, with no pressure release. They're great fielding from Rassie van der Dussen at the at cover for no run. Looked like the 2 batsmen were gonna come through for a single, but fielding has to be on point at this point in time.
We have some tweets here. One from Ravi Naya saying South Africa.
Next ball, play down to the fielder admit off. Nora tweets, simple.
South Africa have now squandered 2 reviews on this partnership. They might be made to regret that, having only 1 left. And one from there says, stop throwing reviews away. Quinton the cock, you absolute. Oh, Quinton, you absolute the cock. I love to hear it. Loving the puns here.
Straightening a little there from George Linder. Azhar Ali played that back out. That's the end of Linder's second over. George Linder has gone for 1 run in his 2 overs. He seemingly doing that job of holding up an end for the South Africans that dry the runs up and force the Pakistani batsmen to try and make a game of this. A similar tactic to what Graham Smith used to do quite a lot when it looked like the wickets weren't falling.
Yeah, I guess George Linder, a little bit similar to a Paul Harris in physical dimensions. He's a nice tall guy, and I think he could bring a bit of inconsistent bounce into play here. We just saw Azhar Ali bottom edging an attempted cut into his foot quite close to the stumps in that over.
Yes, Keshav resuming his 4th over of the day, and it's a fuller length. It's a full ball there that Fahd just bunts out onto the offside, no run.
Speaking of previous SA spinners, we have another feature from
dropped Dean Elgar. That was a tough chance. Our Fahad Alam coming forward. Keshav with the beautiful ball that just held it, that held its line there a little bit and induced the edge. But an opportunity missed for the South Africans. A single was taken off of that. As we look at that one again, edged and tough chance came very quickly to him, hit him on the boot. But I know Dean is going to be disappointed with that one.
Didn't even get a hand to it. Went straight onto his boot.
Another ball, this one turning back into the left-handed Fahad Alam, and no run there. Yes, Tsippo?
One tweet from Ravi said, I've realized that Fawad's batting technique is as mad as Paul Adams' bowling technique. He's the Paul Adams of batting.
Keshav Maharaj in a two. Fahad Alam coming forward there is Fawad. He plays that out to the fielder at point. No run. 93 for 4 the score is. They call him the Karachi Crab, Fahad Alam. Similar
the
to
Karachi Crab.
Yes. Look, because he walks across, he's front on when he gets the ball. When he faces up, this ball in gets a bit of an inside edge, but it just comes off the pad and trickles out to Aiden at short leg, no run. But it looks like Chanderpaul, but with a lot more flamboyance and movement.
Yeah, guys, so there will only ever be one Khocha.
Ravi Reddy says the same thing on tweet. He said, for what? Oh.
Yes,
Ravi Reddy was agreeing with you on the tweets.
Yes, that's the end of Keshav's over. Pakistan score 93 for 4.
As you point out, there have been other batsmen who have adopted that strange square on stance. Shivri Chanderpaul most recently, and before him in the 80s, English batsman by the name of Peter Willey also used to stand very square. Whereas I think there's only been one bowler who's got like Paul Adams.
Yes, there. Washington Sundar, he's slightly taller, but when he started bowling in the IPL, his action was I wouldn't say Khocha-like, but it had similar attributes to it. It's just that Sundar's a lot taller and he doesn't break his back as much as Khocha does. Linda starting his over. The first ball's cut outside the off stump of the right-handed Azhar Ali. Kagiso's at a backward point there. No run.
Having watched Sundar a bit in the recent series against Australia, he certainly seems to have simplified his action a bit there.
Yes. It when he started, it was a little bit of a problem. Sweep shot has been pulled out of here. It's an over-pitched ball by Linda, and it will go really quickly through this lovely outfield that they've prepared at the Karachi National Stadium for 4. Yeah, Ken, speaking on Sundar, I'm happy that he's managed to come a little bit more upright in his stance, because when he started, I think it was 4 years ago for the RCB, it looked like he was going to break some sort of a limb. But I know Khocha made his money just doing that throughout his career. So obviously, cricket allowing him to, obviously it could have worked. It's just obviously I'm happy that somehow the mechanic got simplified. And also got a test debut this series, which is something that he would be happy with. Linda in for the next ball. Azhar Ali coming down. That man at short leg coming across to City Point there under the helmet. And it is no run there. Just Aiden Markham jumping up and down, just hoping he doesn't get a ball on his on any of his body. Linda again in this one, just outside the off stump, another cut that gets an under edge, which is something that Azhar Ali needs to be very careful for no run.
Yeah, Sundar did exceptionally well with both ball and batter on his test debut. It was wonderful to see.
Yes, next ball from Linda, last ball of his over. There's a slip and that silly point. This one just played out to the offside in between that gap, and a quick single there. Fielder on the circle, is Adolf Nokia, and that ends the over after that single, 98 for 4. Tsepo, do you have some tweets?
I do have some tweets, in fact. We have one from Leah saying, well, Umpo, I called him the Karachi crab yesterday, and I didn't know anyone else does as well. Ravi Reddy says, if Dean had chipped it with his boot back to Keshav, then we would have been in business. Hashtag Pakistan versus South Africa. And another one from Ravi, the heavy roller, saying, at Ken Boland, that's for you, Ken, you may remember Clayton Lambert from the ICC Champions League final where SA won. Lambert literally had a run-up whilst batting. Please tell me this is a true story, Ken.
Yeah, good memory, Ravi. Quite right.
First ball of Keshav's over around the wicket to the right-handed Azhar Ali. He tries to use a little bit of his feet now. You can starting to see the Pakistani batsmen getting a little bit more comfortable here with the spinners using their feet coming to the pitch of the ball. But he heads straight to Timber at extra cover, no run. Next ball, again, just defended out, lovely lunge forward out to the offside and no run. So, Ken, yes?
Just on unorthodox bowling actions, and I'll just wait for this delivery.
Maharaj outside the off stump, just going on with the line there, no run. Just as I thought of playing in that, but he realized that he could have underaged it and he let it go through.
The thing about Paul Adams was that his head was facing down when he delivered the ball.
Next ball, just defended out to the offside. Could have gone through, was much quicker from Keshav, but Azhar Ali coming with a full face of the bat on that one.
Which, in this age of T20 cricket and huge bats and guys smashing the ball back at the bowlers, it would have been very risky for Paul Adams to be bowling down.
Yes, beautiful shot there from Azhar Ali getting to the pitch of the ball, opening up the face of his bat and guiding it lovely. Guiding it well through the gap between extra cover and the fielder at conventional cover. There is a sweeper on the boundary at the extra cover boundary, so that's just a single to rotate the strike.
So apart from risking life of them, Adams obviously also couldn't see where he was landing the ball.
Yes, Maharaj into Fahad Alam. And he's plays that out to the bowler, no run, end of that over.
And, he obviously had to work exceptionally hard just to build up muscle memory that, if you can't see where you're going to be landing the ball, you've got to really groove your bowling that it's almost bowling blind, if you like.
Yeah, it was one of the things that when you looked at Jorge, you kind of felt that you wondered how he was able to see the batsman. As they go through, and obviously in today's world where batsmen like to move, like to do reverse sweeps, also switch hit like Kevin Peterson, it could have been quite dangerous for a bowler like Paul Adams. George Linder, we're 10 minutes away from lunch. George Linder in to Azhar Ali, who cuts this one. The fielder, that's Kagiso, at a point on the circle, makes a little bit of a fumble there as he dives to his left to collect the ball, and that enables a single to be taken. Pakistan now 100 for 4. They trail South Africa by 120. Yes, we know the first innings was disappointing for the South Africans. This session slowly falling into Pakistan's hands, and very disappointing from a South African perspective that they couldn't get any wickets to break this partnership.
And also in the field, I think they've been a little bit lacking, and they certainly can't play in the outfield.
Linder to the left-handed alarm ball turning into him. He just plays that off the back foot, no run. Yeah, and to a certain extent, South Africa have always had, throughout the years, they've always had this ability to have a session where they are just flat. And the great thing about Graham Smith's captaincy was that at the drinks break, if he felt that they were flat, he'd give them the right act. Lovely ball outside the off stump, played out to Keshav at extra cover, no run, and it kind of would always bring some sort of energy and some sort of a little bit more focus in the second half of the session. And I think that may be missing right now in this Proteas team. Linda in again. This one just tight on that off stump and off the back foot. Fahad Alam playing it late under his eyes, no run. I just kind of feel that even in the previous series against Sri Lanka, South Africa were just always flat for sessions. So a full session will go with the team just feeling flat, and that can't happen. You kind of need to G up the guys and get them going a little bit more. A little bit of drift in that last ball from Linda. Fahad Alam just playing that safely out to the leg side on the bounce to the short leg, no run.
Yeah, I think the bowlers have tried hard. I mean, I think, with a bit more luck, certainly Keshav Maharaj really troubling Fawad Alam. So the bowlers have put in the effort.
Yes, they have, and you can't fault them for that. It's just fielding sometimes maybe needs a little bit more improvement. Lovely ball there from Linda, just played out to the offside. Easy single taken from Fahad Alam, and total goes to 101 for 4. End of that over. It's the 43rd over in this Pakistani innings. Do you have any tweets, Tsepo?
I do have 2 tweets. The first one is from Tim, and he says, I'd have gotten a Dean Algar tattoo if he had pulled that catch off, and I would have got the same. I want to know where you'd put that tattoo, Tim, actually. And then we have one tweet. It's actually a question from Antonio Gambino, and he says, hey, guys, has the standard of international cricket changed since the early 1990s? Are there less quality cricketers? Is it less competitive with fewer stars? How has T20 cricket had an impact on international cricket? That's a lot of questions, but
we'll go through the in a while. First ball of Keshav's over, just played out to the leg side. Great use of his feet. Did Fahad Alam to get off strike. Lovely rotation. Keshav's not happy with the fielder. Looks like the fielder at mid-on was slightly deeper and not walking in, enabling that single to happen. So you can see a little bit of frustration on Keshav's face. Yeah, so I think we're going to simplify that question to say, has the standard of cricket changed throughout, or become weaker from the early 90s? Let's just do it like that. And I'm going to direct it to you, Ken, because I think some of us were kids when that was in the early 90s.
I wasn't even born. I wasn't even born.
Third ball of this over, played straight back to the bowler by Azhar Ali. Keshav tried to field it, and it popped up to the grill of Fahad Alam at the non-strikers end. He seems to be okay. We're just checking up on him.
Yeah, I think the one thing that has changed certainly is the ability of batsmen to bat time, to really bat for a long time. And that to me certainly is the impact of T20 cricket and more aggressive strike play.
Next ball from Keshav outside the off stump and let go by Azhar Ali. I do think that is quite true. I think if you look at strike rates and also run rates, they have increased slightly, but the quantum of runs put up in test matches across the innings has decreased quite a lot. Feels like it's impatience, and that comes with something else. Next ball in, getting the outside edge of Azhar Ali, very controlled down to the fielder at point. Fahad Alam's always looking for a single there, but he's been sent back by his Azhar Ali, who is the former captain, not the current captain of the side.
Yeah, I think Test cricket is a lot more entertaining though now, because if you go look at the run rates in the 90s, they were very slow.
Yes, they were very slow, and this one played out to the offside. Very easy pressure release shot there from Azhar Ali for a single. And the impact of T20, I think, can be felt in that final session, that final day with that Australia-India series at the Gabba, where you kind of felt coming into the day that India were going to play out for the draw, but they ended up getting close and also closing out that match for a win. This next ball played out down the leg side on the bounce from Fahad Alam, just played it out to the short leg. End of that over, 104 for 4.
big fourth innings run chases are becoming more and more common these days. Back in the 90s, chasing anything over 300 in the fourth innings was seen as a really, really daunting task.
Yeah, and that's true. And I kind of felt that when India went into that final day, you had the sense that they might just want to just go for the draw and try save the test match. But the thinking now is we'll evaluate at T to see how much we have and if we can go for it, which is probably, I think, a different mindset to everyone else, where the mindset was let's try block back in the day. Let's try block from ball one all the way to the end. George Linder to resume, and it's a full ball there on the toes of Azhar Ali, who plays that out to mid-on, no run.
Yeah, Indian cricket certainly boasts a wonderful spirit at the moment. Really, they've just got such confidence in their ability at the moment.
Yes, and it sets up that test tour of England in India really, really, really nicely. Next ball just played outside the off stump back to the bowler, no run. Azhar Ali using his feet really nicely to try and just open up his body and play that with the straight bat. Something new. So I think if people are watching, it's something that is worth noting as to how Pakistani or some Asian players play spin. This next one is just a little bit of a forward press and punch out to point, no run there. And that's obviously India have done really well over the past couple of years in getting their test team to a world-class standard and a world-beating standard. And that test series against England is going to be probably the most intriguing one we've seen. First test series in India since the start of COVID, so that's also going to be very fascinating to see how they manage that in a land of 1 billion people who love this game. Next ball just played out to the offside from Azhar Ali. George Linder's bowled quite well so far in his 4 overs and 4 balls. Just having a little bit of a trouble with the transmission, and it's gone down. So we'll just have to. Oh, it's back again. Okay. That next ball looks like it was a dot ball to Azhar Ali. We just missed the ball, so we do apologize. In this virtual world, we're reliant on pictures coming in from the ground. And it's probably the last ball before lunch. George Linder to Azhar Ali, a fuller length ball. Azhar coming down, just playing that out to the leg side. End of that over, and Alinda, are we going to call it? Looks like we've got one more over. So that's very good. One more over of spin. And I think, Temple, what do you think the Proteas obviously? Oh, well, it's lunch. It's lunch. So last question from the both of you. If you're Mark Boucher, what's the story in the changing room? What are you telling the guys? I'll start with Tsepo and I'll go with Ken.
The key is to just get that energy up. As you said, Graham Smith had the ability to really just get the gents' heads into the game, and just make sure that we don't lose our shape, our plan, and put some pressure on these two batsmen to get a breakthrough after the break. They're probably going to chat about something along the lines of striking after the break immediately.
Mm-hmm. And Ken, what if you're Mark? Well, you probably know Mark. So what do you think he'd be telling the guys?
Yeah, I think the first thing is to just sharpen up in the field a bit. Certainly, I think we can put more pressure on Pakistan with better fielding. The bowlers, I think, need to stay patient and just keep plugging away. I like what Maharaj and Linder are doing. They certainly seem to be creating some doubt in the batsman's mind. And short, sharp burst maybe after lunch from Rabada. And it's the Proteas bowlers have been a little bit unlucky in that session, but credit to Azhar Ali and Fawad Alam, who batted really well.
Mm-hmm. Just final tweets here. Dr. Dan Diper sent us a sketch of Fawad Alam post sweep, which is really amazing. We're on Dr. Dan Diper's radar with his lovely sketches. Leah tweeting saying, yeah, winning a series on Australian roads means nothing. They're flat track bullies that will fold like wet cardboard on Indian dust bowls. England have nothing to fear. I think Leah's talking about India, about India. And then final one. Yeah, I think those are all the tweets that we have there. Tip, are there any more that I've missed?
There's just Tim replying to where he put the tattoo of Dean Algar, and he says he put it on his upper arm like an old sailor's tattoo with his lady's name, Dino, with the heart. I love to see it.
Sure. Okay, so this is where we're going to end our first session broadcast. We'll be back in 40 minutes' time with the second session of the day on One World Sports Radio, Guerrilla SA, GUERILLA SA. We'll go off on Periscope, on Facebook, and on YouTube. But if you go onto 1WSR.com, we'll be playing some archive footage from the games that we have broadcast before. I think it probably is the women's ODI against Pakistan that happened in 2018. So do enjoy. Thank you very much, Ken and Tepo. We'll see you on the other side. To everyone else, Lesale Kakahiso.